Boom. Episode 1. We are back. Now, the welcome back, gang, like daily. It's been a long time. Been about, I would say, a 3, 4, 5 month break. Um, well-deserved break. A very good break, a very interesting break. Over this break, we have had the last Zoom call was just when the tariffs were announced. Um, and ever since then, we've seen the markets do a lot of crazy stuff. I think the main thing that we can really get from what's happened is how Trump's actions have affected the market and price action in general. And these are all topics that we're gonna cover in the next Zoom calls. As soon as these Zoom calls start compounding, we're gonna be covering every single thing. The purpose of the Zoom call today is basically just run through our basics, run through our framework, and just stamp in what the EZAIH Academy does stand for. So without further ado, the first thing I'm gonna do to this chart is give a narrative on it. Now, we have to understand that in Forex, every single person does get a chart. Everyone's going to get a chart. Okay, everyone's going to view a chart. What makes you different to somebody else is viewing this chart? How do you become different? And the way you become different is by understanding that the simple concept of you are here to perform on the market. Perform on the market like a game. Right? You are here to perform on the market like a game. Because in reality, these bars that are going up and down are no different to a video game that is playing, right? We're playing a live video game. This is not story mode where we might know the ending. This is a live, literally online multiplayer lobby, right? And we are here on the market we're here to perform like a game. So what we need to do is use the EZAIH concepts that we have, especially the EZAIH framework that we have. And if we do look on the Discord, I'm going to very quickly go onto the Discord. If we look onto the Discord, if we look onto announcements, obviously we've got the EZAIH Discord back again. Mission statement. I will have a read through this. Now, the final form, the Discord reaches the final form, not in content but in mindset. Obviously, if 95% of traders fail, how do we act in opposition to them? How much do we really need to make 100k, 200k? How do we get there safely with certainty without gambling? Those questions define the mission from this point onwards. I would have a read through this and actually understand the mission moving forward for the academy. Coming into the blueprint, the blueprint is simple. The blueprint is like this. We are looking to compound. We are looking to genuinely just compound. This is the key to trading. And in the next Zoom calls, we are going to be covering this. This is the key to trading. It doesn't get better than the compound method that I am going to be presenting within the next series. Essential markers, obviously, we're going to go through this right now. But I think the most important thing is for people to go through these two sections, blueprint and mission statement. Understand this, make this your purpose for the next, let's say for example, 60 to 90 days, and see where it gets you. Again, you have nothing to lose. So pushing back to the charts, the first thing we do when we are on the charts as an EZAIH Academy student, I've already got the template marked up. So this key template marked up, as you can see here. Boom. That is, and if you don't know what this is, this is that indicator that we have, and this indicator is simply separating the weeks 1, 2, and then separating the days 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I usually use a dark chart, but within this instance, obviously because we are on Zoom, it's clearer in white. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly change this to a bit more of a grayish color so it's more visible to every single person. Right, boom. Now, I'm going to teach you how to use this Discord. Okay, and this new Discord setup. Now, essential markers, weekly open, right? So in this section, you'll find out the essential markers, so what you must mark on your charts. So weekly open, Monday high and low. Obviously into Wednesday, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday you're looking to mark out, and then obviously Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which I will show you. Previous week high and low, your daily open, your monthly high and low, your quarterly markers. So what we're going to do in the Zoom call today is we're going to cover, I'm going to teach you how to use this essential market section by going through USD JPY and doing this live in front of you guys. So coming in to this chart. Now this indicator is really important. If you don't know about this indicator, if you go onto the indicator section and literally just copy and paste this by Algorize, you will get this chart here. Then obviously you want to change the colors as to your preference, but this will split your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. Now within the last week, let's say for example we are trading on the day of Wednesday and we want to mark out our charts accordingly. Again, your essential markers. First of all, what we want to do is mark our opening range, so our Monday opening range, which would start from here and this would end over here. This is your Monday range, your Monday high and low. Now what we can do is put on a simple bit of line work, right? Double tap on it and just literally say it as it is. Monday low. I'm going to breeze through this very quickly. Monday high. And what we're doing here is we're creating a playing ground. All right, so this is Monday to Wednesday where we will be using this. Now from Wednesday to Friday we are going to be using the Wednesday high to low, as we can see here. Boom, and obviously mark that out as well. Okay, this is our playing around Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, now coming into weekly high and low, obviously our weekly high and low, every single day it will change. So what I mean by this is, if I just draw 2 points on Monday, this is your weekly high and this is your weekly low. On Tuesday, this is still your weekly high, but your weekly low has changed for the day of Wednesday, right? So when the day of Wednesday comes, when the market, let's say for example the market pushed up here, if you did end up taking a sell, if you do end up taking a sell, you are targeting what? The weekly low, if you were to take a sell. Now on Thursday we get a new weekly low, and from this weekly low you can see we revolve back to the point I'm about to mark next, and that is going to be the weekly open. So genuinely on Monday when the market opens bang on at 10 o'clock, this is your weekly open. Now I would highlight this a different color, and I would also make this line dotted, and I would make it just a bit thicker and make it black, so we know this is our weekly opener. Again, double tap here, weekly open price, right? So we are getting somewhere. Now in very simple words, we want to mark out our previous week high and low. So we have our previous week high. Now obviously we want to shift that line back to line style, go back. This is our previous weekly high. This is our previous weekly low. So previous weekly high, previous weekly low. Boom, sorted, done. Right. I'm gonna take out the Wednesday because I don't really want that Okay, cool. So this is your Wednesday low. Boom. Now if we go back onto the Discord and am I using body closes? Not really. I'm just literally being very vague right now. I do suggest using body closes, but it's completely up to you. I prefer using body closes. Now moving on very swiftly, if we move on to go back to the Discord, and if you ever get lost in your markings, you can literally just go back to the Discord, monthly high and low, and then obviously your monthly and your quarterly. So now right now what we need to do is we need to do our monthly and we need to do our quarterly. So boom, coming back onto here, Monthly. How do we get the monthly? Very simple. Let's get rid of this. Let's just look at our candle at this moment of time. Okay, now our monthly high at this moment of time is currently the previous weekly high. Okay, so that's the monthly high. Our monthly low, body wise, let's say for example, body wise, candle wise, what we can do here in this instance, and this is why it's good to be on a Zoom call, this is your month low, and this is your month open. Okay, this is your month open. And a little pointer that I would do, right, that I would do is I would take this tool out here, or I would take this tool out here, and I would also mark out the 50% of this month's range. Okay, and how we are going to do this, I believe I have the tool here, but if I don't have the tool here, I'm just going to do it like this. 50%, where is the 50%? It is 910. Okay, so 145910 is 50% of this month's range. So what we can do is I'm going to mark this red. Okay, and this is 50% of month range. Cool. So now if we were to go back into, obviously with your quarters now, let's say for example, going to 3 month, obviously quarters, you can mark that out. Boom, quarter high, quarter low, and then obviously boom, boom, boom. And this is your, what is it? We're in Q3, so that would be the Q2 high and the Q2 close. So boom, bim, bam, boom, done. Right, now we are free to proceed to, we can proceed to the chart work, and we can bang, slap back on the boom. That is your chart done, right? So literally, how long has the Zoom call been? Is probably within the last 10 minutes. We have changed a chart that looks blank like this into a fully operational playing field. Okay, and if we zoom into this chart, we can kind of understand what has taken place and what, you know, we've got a lot of things that have happened this week, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, we can clearly see that this week was a very interesting week. As we know, on the 30th of July, what is it, the interest rate decision is coming out. Obviously this is a very important day, and it's a tariff deadline. Well, if we just look forward to what happened this week and how our markings align, this is an institution, this has now become an institutional database. Like, this is an institutional style chart, right? Now obviously we can see Monday. What does Monday do? Monday opens around here, okay, pushes higher. Monday creates our opening range. So from this point, so from, obviously we have this price here, 148.593 to 147.138. So we create a nice range for Monday. Okay, now Monday pushes down, comes back up to the weekly open price. Then Tuesday we break out of that Monday range. So where do we get the breakout? We officially get the breakout over here, right? So Tuesday breaks out of the Monday range. Now if you've studied the EZAIH Gen 2 concept, if Tuesday closes above or below Monday's range, Wednesday is very likely to follow in the same direction after a retest. Now the EZAIH Gen 2 concept played out in perfect manner. This is probabilities. So we got a breakout, a retest, and a continuation all the way down to 50% of the month's range. Now, as soon as price hit 50% of the month's range, what price decided to do, what price did decide to do is obviously come back up, and we traveled all the way. We can literally see it. We can travel all the way back to the weekly open price. Okay, so this week, quote unquote, has been a very good trading week, because there have been some really nice opportunities that have presented themselves. But that's not my main focus right now. I think my main focus is just focusing on our chart work to make sure we can get our chart work correct in order to actually read price action in the manner that we do want to. Now, Again, EZAIH Gen 2, people do not value the education that's in there, but I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's one of the best educations out there. Now, if we see Wednesday, if we were to draw Wednesday mark high and low and put our super fib up there, we can see Wednesday creates our, midweek range. Thursday, failed breakout, asymmetrical risk to reward, bang, there. 1, 2. Clean RR trade. And this is what I use to base some of my trades between Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I had a good trading week personally. And that is that. Okay. Now, if we just go onto our 4-hour quick. Go back onto it. Right. So Monday, Tuesday closes below Monday's opening range. Wednesday continues. Wednesday's range now, failed breakout, asymmetrical risk to reward. Friday breaks out of that Wednesday range and comes back to our weekly open price, which I believe is exactly here. Now you can see how point to point, the market has just revolved around the weekly open price. So one must ask, what does the weekly candle look like? Now, if we go onto the 1 week chart, and if we just zoom out, what does the weekly candle look like? And the weekly candle looks like this. Indecisive market. Very indecisive market. How many candles like this have we got, on this chart, as we can see, where the days have been indecisive? We have 1, we have 2, we have 3. Right, this is pretty indecisive. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are very strong days, but these days are very indecisive days. So this price action that you are seeing on the lower time frame is quite repeatable, right? That weekly doji that you see inside it, this is the action that took place. Now, that is this section done. I've just shown you what your charts should look like after the Zoom call, and obviously how to use the Discord accordingly. So if we just go back onto the Discord, you have your essential markers. Obviously you have your higher time for you have your higher time frame framework as well, where I have explained all of this Monday to Wednesday, false breakout continuation. So if you have a read through this, you can gain some clarity. But after the Zoom call, I've just shown you live how your charts should be, and in the next Zoom calls, obviously we're going to cover higher time frame framework, lower time frame variations. It's all coming soon. Now the next point to talk about is, if we move swiftly forward, the blueprint. Now the blueprint is basically the end game, and this is what I've been working on for the past 4 to 5 months, and this break was needed in order to come back and recollect and go back into the market to genuinely not take over, but put a different perspective that genuinely works and that is going to benefit people in the long run, something that can put us in a Hall of Fame status. And I've confirmed that this blueprint over here, just a couple of words, but if you really read this and take your time to read this, you'll understand how powerful this blueprint is. Now, what this blueprint genuinely means is my take on it. This is my take on it. And we must understand this because, this climate is tough that we are trading in. So, let's get some fresh canvas out. Now, we must ask ourselves, what is the source of money for traders right now? Okay, and this will lead you on to this will lead you on. What is the source of money for traders, for retail traders right now? So I'm going to ask the question, what is the source of money for retail traders right now? Okay. And if I ask this question to you, you're gonna say 2 things. It's gonna come onto 2 lines, right? And it's going to be, can anybody on the chat tell me? It is going to be personal accounts funded accounts. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask someone in the chat, where is the majority of the market trading? What are the majority of the market trading at this moment of time? All right, funded accounts or personal accounts? Maran said personal. I would say different. I would say funded, right? Now, this is very interesting because I just want to touch on something. I just want to touch on something from here. Where people are using personal accounts and funded accounts, if we scrap all of this and we just take funded accounts, right? And if we do take funded accounts, what we can see is that we need to understand the model. What do funded accounts require you to do? Funded accounts require you to make 10%. And I've gone through this so many times, 10% and then 5%. We're going to look at FTMO's model, okay? 10% and 5%. Now, replicated on a personal account, right? The gains that they're asking you to make is very similar or almost identical to making 100% personal on your personal and 50% on your personal. Okay, and this is for personal accounts, right? So this has been the model for funded accounts, 10% and 5%, and this is just the evaluation phase. After this 10% and 5%, obviously your target would be 10%. The ideal scenario is, you know, make 10% and then, you know, withdraw and then move on, right? But with personal accounts, you know, so basically if we were to add this on a personal account, let's say for example you're making another 100% gain. Now the question is, you know, what is really and truly the best way to go? Okay, and I'm not going to come in and say, yeah, don't trade funded accounts, you know, it's a scam, etc., etc. Honestly, you pick your own poison in these markets. You pick your own poison in life. You pick your own poison in these markets. I'm just here to give you guys kind of my perspective and where my growth is coming from. I'm going to take the personal account route and I'm just going to show you guys this information. And if we go back onto the Discord, I want to show you guys this. You know, if you were to take £100 and compound it by 20%. Now, let me just double confirm the math. So, you know, if I post this on TikTok later or YouTube later, people don't get onto me. But that's 100 times 1.2 and click the equals sign 40 times on the calculator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. No, my maths is correct. So, we come to this point here, and you know, we can conclude from this calculation that £100 compounded 40 times at a rate of 1.2%, a rate of x 1.2, which is basically 20% gain, is equal to 150k GBP. Okay, £100 compounded 40 times at a rate of 1.2, 20%, it equals 150k GBP. Now, furthermore, what does a 20% gain look like for you, right? Now, it's as simple as this. Now, people will overwhelm themselves and say, you know, 50,000 to 60,000. Okay, 50,000 to 60,000. This is an overwhelming figure. How much do you need to make in this scenario? You need to make 10k. However, if I was to flip the perspective and I would say to people, let's take £50 to £60, risking £1 a trade, What is the difference? Right? What is actually the difference? This might seem unachievable to you, but does this seem achievable? And I want to ask this chat a question. Like, what do you think's gonna? What do you think? Can you take £50 to £60 risking £1 a trade at the level you're at right now? How hard is it? Is it achievable? I need every single person to answer this question because, you know, this is the matter of your career right now. This question is a matter of your career. So, £50 to £60 a trade, risking £1 a trade. Can we do that? Yes or no? Now, my take on this is the worst of worst traders can do this. The worst of worst traders can do this. Okay, the worst of the worst traders can do this. 50,000 to 60,000. This is where the problems come in. The reason why the problems come in is because it is hard, in my opinion. Psychologically, it's harder seeing £100 losses versus £1 losses, because you're like, when you're losing £100, obviously, even if it's in a funded account, you know, that's £100. That's a pair of Air Forces. That's quite a lot of money, to be fair. So psychologically, it's going to drain you. The £1 losses, bro, doesn't really matter. Chicken and chips, no problem at all. Right? So the purpose of this conversation is £50 to £60 risking, you know, £1 a trade. You know, this risk management is, and I'm gonna add this on. Risk management is one of the leading failures for every trader. If any trader, and I'm going to write this here as well, if any trader has faced a hurdle, if any trader has faced a hurdle in their career, it has been what? What has it been? Like, what has stopped you? Risk management. You've risked more than what you should have. Then what you should have. Now, this leads me on to something else. This process of flipping. So let's take this beauty. Now, I'm going to call this a beauty because let's take this information over here. And now I put it in a circle, right? And we do this 40 times. 40x. You have 150k. Okay. Now I'm saying 10R. £10. 10R. Okay. 10R. Right. Now, 10R, wins and losses included. So I'm not saying 10 trades here. I'm saying, let's say 15 to 20 trades over the course of a week. Okay. 10R. This leads us back to our chart. Is it achievable? You know, is 10R achievable? With the EZAIH method and the EZAIH strategy, it is really, 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 really achievable. And you know what I'm going to do on top of this? What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be launching a copy trader where literally my strategy is going to be executed. And the main purpose, genuinely the main purpose of this account, that is going to be the trader account or the master account, right? It's going to be turning £50 to £60, risking £1 a trade, 10R, 40x to 150k. Ideal scenario. Okay, these are the things that are going to be going on in the next couple of weeks. And even if you're not on a copy trader, for yourself, this is the final framework to follow to make trading into a career. Because once you push forward from that 150k figure, 150k times, you're about 10 flips away from a mil. Oh yeah, a mil. So I rest my case in regards to this academy. Right, the following content, the content to come is going to be the end game into achieving a solid 10R, wins and losses included, wins versus losses included. And the main thing I want people to understand is that you are the cause for your own failure. I've just seen a comment, bro, give me 499 back once you flip it. Okay, thanks. Well, you're part of this academy and you've been taking advantage of the information, so you're not entitled to 499 back. Sorry, reality check for you. You can't be attending a Zoom call and expecting this information is worth more than $5. Very sorry. What would lot sizes look like on this challenge? Just 1% risk. 1% risk on the account. 10R, 40k, 50k. But that's just something that's coming. I just want to open people's minds to understand that trading is not hard. I think doing £50 to £60 40 times without gassing out, you know, is the hard part. I feel like psychologically this is the best way to genuinely make it. Now, going back to the Discord very quickly, this is our mission for the next year. This is what we are going to be doing. This is what we're going to be following. After that, this year is done, we're going to be finishing EZAIH Academy. EZAIH Academy is done, like completely done, and the gift has been passed on. So this Zoom call is going to be under We Back Baby. First episode, the recording will be posted. From the Zoom call, obviously we're talking about big figures, but from this Zoom call at this moment of time, I think the main thing for people to prepare is obviously just having your chart work ready on all charts, not just USD JPY, but on GBP USD as well, USD CAD, gold, and just put your framework on play, right? So that's it. Hope every single person has a good day. Take care, and I'll see every single person in the next Zoom call. Bye bye now.